Well, hello there. Welcome to the pod. Today we are chatting about good old gut health. Now, I've got to say, out of all of the topics in the health and fitness industry right now, gut health has got to be, without a doubt, the biggest shit show. Pun intended. But why is that? Gut health is a buzzword at the moment. And when we see buzzwords, we tend to see products and services pop up that claim to improve said thing. For example, greens powders, microbiome testing, resistant starch, fiber supplements, probiotics, prebiotics, sugar-filled yogurts that claim to be good for digestive health, and the list goes on. Now, what are we going to cover in this episode? We are going to look at what a healthy gut actually is, how to tell if your gut health is on track or not, the exact personalized approach that I take with my clients to improve their gut health, the efficacy or lack thereof of food sensitivity testing, and I'm also going to close out with the break it down to the simplest form key principles so you can take meaningful steps today in order to get the results that you are after. Now, what originally got me interested in gut health was the fact that I had terrible digestion issues and eczema when I was young, into my teens, as well as my 20s. And at this time, there really weren't a whole bunch of supplements, products, and services geared around gut health because it just wasn't a very popular topic back then. And so the cool thing was that it pushed me in the direction of finding the root cause of my digestion troubles versus thinking that some test was going to tell me what I needed to eat and avoid, or thinking that taking a probiotic, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar daily, or some greens powder was going to solve all of my digestion issues. So as I began to improve my gut health via changing some things around, I also noticed that my seasonal allergies went away. My nose wouldn't run and I'd rarely get stuffed up. I stopped getting bronchitis all the time. My skin was clearer than ever. I didn't get dry lips. My stomach felt amazing. My joints were more limber. My bathroom habits were far better. My sense of well-being improved like crazy. And I did it all without these overpriced multi-level marketing scheme powders, lab testing, probiotics, prebiotics, or Activia yogurt. I didn't eat any Activia. I did it all with nutrition and lifestyle modification. Also, tons of my clients have noticed these same benefits via our work together, and you can too. But how? What are we doing specifically that is working? There is something that very few people tell you about gut health for two primary reasons. The first one is they just don't know that this is the case because they want to believe in magic bullets and shortcuts. And number two, they don't want you to know that this is the case because they want to sell you a magic bullet or a shortcut. And this something is what you choose not to eat and or drink is just as important as what you do choose to eat and or drink. Meaning, tossing some kimchi or kombucha in your diet is not going to solve all of your digestive woes. Because if you're still eating things that you do not tolerate digestion-wise, that input is still in place, which is leading to the issues. When your dog pees on the floor, putting newspaper on top of it doesn't get rid of the pee. And the easiest way to think about this concept is the following. If you've got a rock in your shoe, you can take a drug for that pain and discomfort, or you can just take the rock out. Going the drug route may provide you with some temporary relief. However, all of that underlying damage that the rock is doing to your foot is still going on, whether you feel it or not. Also, not to mention that the drugs themselves have negative side effects. So not only are you not removing the root cause of the pain, you're also taking something that is potentially causing additional issues. This is why every single drug has a disclaimer, like may cause or lead to, and list 40 things that are often worse than what you're actually taking the drug for to begin with. So it turns out that a lot of folks actually find that implementing these quote unquote good for gut health products actually make their digestion worse. The research on probiotics specifically illustrates this super clearly. Probiotics are so hit and miss when it comes to real world implementation and getting results. Now, what is a healthy gut? We don't really know because all of the bacteria in our bodies are like an ecosystem. There are so many moving parts, and the microbiome is changing on essentially a minute-to-minute basis. Like my boy Rob Wolf likes to say, you sneeze and your microbiome shifts. Fortunately, what we do know is that your body gives us a ton of feedback in regards to what it likes and what it doesn't. For example, on the extreme end of the spectrum, we've got something like food poisoning, one of the clearest examples of something that the gut does not like. Also, constipation and or diarrhea, no bueno. Bloating, excess flatulence, stomach pain, cramping, all of these things are feedback from the gut letting us know what it likes and what it doesn't like. And this is great because it really doesn't matter what some test or study says that a quote unquote healthy gut is, if we ever even establish that. Because the important thing is that your digestion is on point. You are not bloated. You're not in pain. Your bathroom trips are a smooth experience. And so this is really where the rubber meets the road. Meaning, listen to your body and it'll tell you everything that you need to know about your gut. You hear me say it all the time. The body never lies. We do not need a double-blind, placebo-controlled trial to know that dropping a hammer on your foot hurts. Your body lets you know loud and clear. Another great feedback tool that we use to know whether your gut health is on track or not is your skin. The skin is an amazing barometer for gut health. And this is why we see that when folks get a lot healthier, they get that healthy skin glow, right? I'm sure that you've experienced this yourself or seen a friend or family member change their diet and lifestyle for the better, and you're like, damn, they got better looking. The body never lies. Now, a lot of folks don't actually know what good digestion is because it's sort of a taboo-ish topic. And so people sort of suffer in silence, right? They assume that whatever is happening with their digestion is probably normal. And if they do chat with other folks about it, they're often comparing notes with folks that also have funky gut health. So they'll say to a friend, you're bloated after every meal, right? And they're like, yeah, my stomach blows up all the time. It's totally normal for me. And common is not normal. Normal is normal. Now, if you do not know what good digestion is, have a listen to episode number 204 titled Poop, What's Normal and What's Not. Now, if you do know that your digestion is off track and there's some room for improvement on the gut health front, here's how to practically and reliably assess and improve your gut health. And it's a good news and bad news sort of dealio. The good news is you can absolutely do it. The bad news is it's going to take effort and awareness because it is via a symptom journal. And a symptom journal is writing down everything that you are eating and drinking and noting next to each meal and snack how you felt digestion-wise. For example, if you eat oatmeal with a banana and some almond milk for breakfast and you feel weighed down, heavy, and bloated, something in that meal didn't agree with you. Now, we don't know whether it was the oats, the banana, the almond milk, or all of the above. So what we then need to do is isolate out the variables by having oats on their own. So maybe you have them with some water instead of almond milk one day. And then you give the banana a shot on its own. You see how you feel, and the same goes for the almond milk. And you might be thinking, Marcus, that is so much work. And you're right. But I'm not sharing this information with you because I get a kick out of making things harder than they need to be. It's just because it's the only method that actually works. If I could wave a wand and make it so you didn't need to change a thing about your diet and you could just simply take a greens powder or a probiotic and have amazing gut health, I would absolutely do that. But that is just not the reality of the situation. Now, many folks still go for food sensitivity testing, and unfortunately, it is a complete waste of time and money. Interestingly, the AAAI, which stands for the American Academy of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology, literally came out in 2020 and said that they do not endorse food sensitivity and intolerance testing because it just doesn't work. I have seen this over and over in my clientele. And so again, we circle back to the symptom journal. And it's important to note that all of this stuff is highly individual. And this is why I do the work that I do. There are absolutely physiological principles that apply across the board, like fat loss, for example. Every single individual that wants to lose fat needs to be in a calorie deficit to do so. All 7 point however many billion of us. But when it comes to improving digestion and getting a healthier gut, there isn't a everyone needs to eat chia seeds sort of principle, because it really is different for everyone. When it comes to gut health, we need to take a highly personalized approach if we want a good result. It's much like lifestyle. There is a different recipe that works for everyone based on their preferences, schedule, psychology, specific time commitments, etc. So the key takeaways, if you want to improve your gut health, number one, what you eliminate from your diet is just as important, if not more important, than what you include. Number two, just because a food is viewed as quote unquote healthy does not necessarily mean that it can't be a sensitivity or an intolerance for you as an individual. For example, dairy works for some folks and it doesn't for others. Same deal with gluten, same deal with nuts and seafood and oats. I love oatmeal with some fruit, but my stomach doesn't, which is a bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. Number three, the one and only proven way to improve digestion and gut health is via listening to your body's feedback. And I'd recommend doing so via a written symptom journal versus winging it. You pattern recognize what may be an issue for you, and then you experiment with and or without those specific foods. This is exactly what I do with my clients that want to improve their gut health. I'm also looking at things like skin quality. We chat about bowel movements, bloating, stomach discomfort, and the list goes on. Now, if you want to learn more about this topic, like I mentioned before, I'd recommend listening to episode 204 if you haven't already. I'd also recommend episode 184 titled Leaky Gut Explained, as well as number 108 titled Inflammation Explained, because at the center of all of this stuff is gut health. Hippocrates said that all disease begins in the gut. He also said, our food should be our medicine and our medicine should be our food. I 100% agree. I've seen this nutrition and lifestyle stuff heal people, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. There is a reason why the gut is referred to as the second brain. If you're interested in applying for one-on-one nutritional coaching and or workout design with me, you can click the link in the description below or head on over to n1fitness.com/coaching. On Instagram, I'm at n1fitness, TikTok at the n1fitness, and on YouTube, I am at Marcus Sadu. Feel free to leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform, if you'd like to, of course. And be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope that you found this episode useful, and I will catch you on the next one. See ya.